Welcome back, Sports Nation and my champions. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some RB1 targets. That is, these are guys who didn't make the cut last year, but I think have a good shot at cracking the top 12 for you. I'm going to give you two PPR examples and two standard league examples. So let's get to it. Now, the first PPR target I want to go over is Myles Gaskin from the Miami Dolphins, coming into his third season here. And he ended up as a running back 24 last year. I really believe this guy is a multi-purpose threat, kind of a slash and go type player, inside, outside. He really excels from catching passes in the flat and going and making big plays. He did bounce back from that short-term knee injury last year. Came out in the last 3 games and had about 200 receiving yards, including 2 touchdowns against the Raiders. There really is no competition there in the backfield. They do have Malcolm Brown, not a threat to him as far as the starting running back position. The big thing is Tua Tagovailoa stepping up. There's a question there, and it's, you know, I think the organization itself believes that he will step up. Tua was saying that he didn't have a good grasp of the playbook last year, and also Ryan Fitzpatrick was not retained. So as far as the projections go with Myles, I'm looking at a running back 6 to 8 as far as his high end, with his floor being definitely a solid running back 2 again. And with this ADP of 54.1, you're looking at about a 5th round pick you're going to have to use on him, and I think he's definitely worth that, especially with upside. Now, the other PPR target I want to focus on is Austin Ekeler from the Los Angeles Chargers. He's coming into his 5th season here. He ended up as running back 26 last year in PPR leagues, and I think he really excels in the short passing game. For a guy who gets as much work that he does, he might be one of the best in the league. And the Chargers organization themselves really took a long, hard look at their offensive line, not only to protect Justin Herbert, but to improve the running game. They brought in Corey Linsley from the Packers as center, and they also drafted Rashawn Slater to be their left tackle. Now, the knock I would say on Austin Ekeler is he's not really carrying, I would say, a full load, especially in the run game. He does get his fair share, or more than his fair share, as far as receiving. And there might be some concerns about his brittleness. Now, he had a hamstring injury last year, a knee problem. And he also had a concussion, so he missed some games with that. Some room for hope here is they brought in a new coaching staff. They fired Anthony Lynn, and they brought in a guy named Brandon Staley now as head coach. Now, he's more of a defensive side guy, but the offensive coordinator they brought in was Joe Lombardi, who was the quarterback coach for the Saints for the past 5 seasons. And that's why I kind of, maybe they're looking at Austin Ekeler here as the next Alvin Kamara. He does have similar skill sets, and that's why I put, as far as the projection goes, as a top 5 guy. If that is true, I think he could definitely hit that if they give him more work. The floor, I would say, is he's a definite running back 2. The only concern here is the current ADP from ESPN basically has him as an early 2nd round pick. Now, he's basically going to have to obviously be more on this side than an RB2. Somewhere in the middle would probably be a fair estimation. So keep an eye on this as you get closer to your draft. Now, as far as standard leagues go, the first guy I want to talk about here is Ronald Jones from the Tampa Bay Bucks. He's coming into his 4th season. He ended up as running back 15 last year. Really kind of coming into his own. And I put finally there. If you've been playing fantasy football for a while, this guy had a lot of hype coming out as a rookie. Really kind of fizzled. Didn't really truly produce, I think, until last year. And I think part of that is having Tom Brady there. I think it's kind of elevated everybody's game, to be honest, and led them to a Super Bowl. As far as Leonard Fournette, I think he's a decent backup, but I think Ronald Jones is still going to get the majority of the carries, and Fournette's going to be more of a kind of a breather type guy. So I put his ceiling as about an RB10 right now. The floor, I would say he's a solid RB2 either way. But what's really attractive about Ronald Jones here is his ADP. Now we're talking 58 as an ADP. We're talking near the bottom of the 5th round. That is very good value in my opinion to get a guy, especially with a ceiling like that. So the other target I want to look at for standard leagues is Miles Sanders from the Philadelphia Eagles. Now he's coming into his 3rd year, 2nd round draft pick. He ended up as a running back 21, respectable running back 2. He only played 12 games. His big forte is that I would consider him an explosive playmaker. He can score from anywhere on the field. It seems that if he can get by the first guy, he's off to the races, and that's something you really want in fantasy because he can score big for you. And also if you guys get points for longer touchdown runs or receptions, that could help you out as well. I really believe this is 3rd year is going to be the charm for him. A lot of things going on as far as the saga of Carson Wentz, and I think that the offense looks to finally kind of be coming into its own. They drafted Devontae Smith, another weapon as far as wide receiver goes. Boston Scott, he's serviceable. I don't think he could take a full load. I think he's a solid number 2 to spell Miles Sanders. I think this is Miles Sanders' position to have as long as he can stay healthy. There's always a caveat with all these players, obviously. And then you have Jalen Hurts. If we officially are in the Jalen Hurts era, goodbye Carson Wentz. This could hurt him a little bit as far as goal line touchdowns, but again, I think Miles Sanders' bread and butter are those big plays. So I would say his ceiling, I think he could very well be an RB5 when it's all said and done on the high end. I think his floor is probably more like RB15, so I would say he's right at the bottom end of RB1, which I think is a very, very attractive given his current ADP of 29.6. That would equate to about a 3rd round draft choice that you'd have to take him with for 12-team leagues. If you did enjoy this video, why not give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. If you have any comments, put them in the comment section below. I read every comment and I respond to just about every comment as well. Thanks for watching and supporting this channel, and as always, play like a champion.